What is happening in Mad Poet Land? All of my Mad Poet friends, thank you for being here at the Mad Poet Show. I am the Mad Poet, you are an audience, we are the Mad Poet Society. We got Rootman coming in from Kick.com with the graphic EQs bouncing. Thank you very much for being here. Wherever you're tuning in from, I do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the show. We'll be playing for at least a couple hours today. I got some stuff to do. I got to be out of here by 5, so I got a good 2.5 hours to rock out and jam, play some stuff. That first song was dedicated to my buddy Jesse. We used to be in a heavy metal project together. Awesome bass player. That song was called Visions of Ecstasy. This next piece, one of my better song titles. This is called The Night of the Vampires, Forlorn Revolution. Everyone Hates Mia, coming in from Kick. Thank you very much for throwing the flames up there. I think I see. I'm not sure if Rootman I may recognize. Everyone Hates Mia. I don't think I've seen you in our chat before, but for our new viewers out there, thank you very much for coming in. I do appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me, listening to my music and watching my little Mad Poet show. Okay, what we got going on here? How do you guys feel about playing a little something in D minor? We need more songs in D minor. Not a lot of songs in D minor in metal. But this one is, it's called The Tides of Sorrow. Man. Also following on Twitch now. Thank you very much for the Twitch follow. We've got, oh, interesting. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. I got Root Man coming in both on Kick and Twitch, and that's why the username looks different. Awesome. Thank you for the double up viewing. Much appreciated. Digging it. All right. What do we got? I need to get back out my list of things to talk about in between songs. I feel like I've been a little deficient there. If anyone viewing ever has any questions, feel free to ask. I talk a lot about music theory. Music theory questions are always welcome. Yeah, I've got questions about my process or my setup or anything at all. Totally awesome. Root Man, now coming in from Kick, says, I'm like a bad smell. I get everywhere. Dig it. Be like a bad smell, Root Man. Do what you gotta do. Root them out. Okay, we're gonna slow it down here a little bit. And if I recall correctly, this song has this interesting thing for musicians out there, or even if you're not, if you're just into cool rhythmic devices. Toward the end of this song, I play what's known as a polyrhythm. So this is in a standard 4/4 song, and so normally you're counting in fours. Place where I start doing triplets. So I'll be playing 12 notes over where the rhythms are playing 8 notes. It's kind of a cool effect. Some people don't care for it. It's interesting to try to play it because you really have to concentrate on your time. There's a lot of different types of polyrhythms. This is one of the easier ones, but it's got a great effect. This piece is called A Myth of Silence. X3X0. Thanks for coming in from Kick. So the way I'm set up here, I'm not set up to take any kind of requests. I play original music. Right now we're playing my 59th album. It's called Hard 6. And so my system is set up with all of my backing tracks in place and kind of ready to go. So I just play an entire album. Usually do 2 albums per show. And I just over the last week, I have started setting up some cover tunes for possibly in the future doing some cover tune sets. And right now, the only 2 songs I've got a few songs I'm working on. Crazy Train, Tornado with Souls is my most commonly requested cover tune to play. A version of Wicked Game, very likely a kind of a doom metal version of Gloomy Sunday, the Hungarian Suicide song. A few others that I may put in place. And so we'll see. I'm not sure on that if I'm going to do that. I think it would be kind of cool. So I can kind of walk away, possibly some System of a Down. I do like System a lot. They're awesome. So apologies for being unable to go after your request. Hopefully you are into originals though, because that's what we tend to do here. The only actual cover tune that I've put out on any of my albums is on my 65th album. The album is titled Incomprehensible Isolation, and I did heavy metal variations of Three Blind Mice. And I loved my version of Three Blind Mice. I actually thought about playing that album today. I was close to playing that one. It's been a while. It's probably my favorite of all of my albums. And so that's, yeah. Unfortunately, cover tunes aren't a thing currently, but perhaps at some point. And one of my big questions is, am I going to sing on these songs? So I've been practicing my singing a lot, and I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. So if not, if I decide that these songs aren't going to work, that the singing isn't going to work, then what I can do is play the vocal line on my guitar. So I could, still do all of the parts, so to speak. And we'll see what happens with that. It could be a lot of fun. It could be a complete disaster. Time will tell. So, yeah, we're going to keep on with the originals here, because that's all I'm set up for right now. And then this is like with my setup. So when I'm playing my 59th album, I'm going to do my 59th and 60th today. So when I get done with this one, I've got a switch over that I need to do, and it's a little bit entailed. I have to shut down my sheet music, and then I have to delete certain tracks from my recording program, and then I have to switch over to my other project in my recording program, reinsert different tracks, bring the sheet music back up, because if I don't do everything just right, it can be kind of messy and shut the system down. And so that doesn't work well. Basically, it's because my sheet music program is kind of an audio bully, so it kind of takes over the audio system, and not so great. I've got it worked out, but basically the point here is that if I were to just try to be like, let me play a song off of this album, song off of that album, song off of this album, do a cover tune, it would be really time consuming in between songs. And it's really overly difficult to do with the load up time and everything. So that's kind of what's going on. And I just also want to put out here, I believe if you are coming in from VK.com, VK.com, it looks like it's connecting and disconnecting to my chat. So if you're chatting from VK.com, I may not see it. I don't get a lot of traction on VK, so that's all right. But just so that's out there. And most likely if you're coming in from VK.com, you don't speak English. It's a Russian website, I believe. And it's the same kind of reason. I know I usually got 10, 12 people watching on Nemo, but it's almost exclusively Vietnamese, so not a lot of chatting going on there. Nonetheless, that's kind of the Mad Poet story here for what's going on right now. Let's get a drink of water. Everybody should take a drink of water. Thank you all for being here. This next song is called The Circus of the Serpent. Twenty-one 214 Donnie also coming in from Kick. Thank you very much for being here. This one here, I've told this story a few times, but I think we got some new people in chat today. One question I get a lot is, with a total of 66 albums released, How do you come up with all those song titles? And it's a great question. What I typically do is I go after writing prompts, also sometimes called story starters, and authors will often use these just to get ideas for, hey, what should I write my next short story, my poem, my novel about? The very first story starter I ever saw, I don't remember a word for word, but it was something to the effect of scientists had developed a machine that records our dreams. Turns out we were forgetting them for a reason. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. And then 59 albums later, I turned into this song title. This is called Why Do You Forget Your Dreams? of craziness we got coming up here now. This is one, I never really thought much of this song for a while, but I found that I really enjoy playing it. And one thing you may notice while I'm playing is that you hear certain parts of a guitar solo, and you'll kind of get that recognizable portion of it. So what I do is I'm improvising the guitar solos. This is all made up on the fly, but I'll come up with a motif. And in this next song, you'll hear this. So that's the motif. That's the only part of the guitar solo that I've written. And so then, I kind of use that as a kind of okay, here's what give me an idea of what I might do with my guitar solo. This motif in this is one that I've kind of realized is one of my favorite motifs. Probably this one, and off of my 21st album from the song 18 Iron Chains to Bind the Wicked King. I got a few motifs that I'm like, man, I really did well on that motif. This is one of those songs. So I always get very, very excited when I'm going to play this one. This piece is called And You Laugh Quietly. Oh, and wait, before I play this, I'm probably going to say this incorrectly. Krlika Vipausi. Krlika Vikapasi? I'm probably saying that way wrong. But nonetheless, thank you very much for the new follow on Kick. I've had new followers on Twitch and Kick today. There are some of the other websites, if you have followed or subscribed or become a fan or whatever it is, I don't see it. So I only see the chats. And so I do appreciate the follows from everywhere, but I only see them. I only see follows on Kick, Twitch, and LiveSpace. So the only ones where I see new followers. So I do appreciate you all out there. I'm streaming out to 15 different platforms, so it's kind of tough to keep up with getting everything in the system to work correctly. But let's do this. This piece is called And You Laugh Quietly. And you laugh quietly. Yeah, I enjoyed the crap out of playing that one. It's good times. Okay, just checking my chats here. Being a chat checker. Looks like we're in good shape. I think things are going along pretty well today. So far, no crazy technical glitches. Of course, there's still time. Just kind of checking to make sure I got everything in order here, because sometimes I don't. And intriguing. Oh, my apologies. I have been missing chats from YouTube. Okay, I have to. Sometimes I don't understand stuff. Okay, I'm gonna modify this, and I've got a question here. Hopefully, you're still watching. And my apologies for missing your chats. But I'm going to modify this into where hopefully I will continue to see them. Okay. Bruce McNelly coming in from Vancouver. Is that Vancouver, Canada or Vancouver, Washington? We got two. They're not too far away. Vancouver, BC and Vancouver, Washington. I have a question. I'm a luthier and couldn't help but notice all the other guitars in the background. Do you ever perform with them in these streams? Yes, I do. This has kind of become my main guitar here. This is an Ibanez Sabre. You probably already know that if you're a luthier. For those who may not be familiar with the term, luthier is someone who makes, and it's also used as someone who repairs guitars. Technically, it's a stringed instrument maker, but we often refer to guitar techs as luthiers as well. And so, yeah, I do use the others. This is my most common. I do use the. So let's see. How do I do this? I occasionally will play on the classical, and I need to work on my classical chops before I do much of that. The other classical. Okay, so that classical is actually Sarah's. That's kind of a cheapy student model guitar that I just practice on. My classical here I occasionally use in streams. The white Charvel, maybe 1 out of 15 streams. The black Ibanez Sabre is probably my second most common. And then I've got this black Jackson Rhodes in the middle here. That one I really like. I loaded that up shortly after I got it with DiMarzio deactivators. The original pickups on it were really cheap. And so changing those out made it sound awesome. And then I'll occasionally do slide guitar on my JG. The JG is an Italian-made guitar back from the 60s. Giuliano Giovetti, I believe was the name, if I'm recalling that correctly. And he was an accordion maker, but he also broke into some guitar making. And the guitars they're pretty cool. It's kind of a jazz style, jazz body guitar. And I usually have that set up for slide guitar, and I was about to do slide guitar earlier when I realized that I've actually got that. Right now it's not set up for slide because I'm going to be doing some recordings with it for the music that I've been practicing my singing to. So yes, I do use the other guitars. And again, I noticed that this message came through like 25 minutes ago, so it's entirely possible you're not still listening. If you happen to watch this back, or if you're still on, apologies for missing that. As I mentioned earlier, I'm streaming out to 15 different websites. And so chat can be kind of tough to keep going. Memories, I notice you're also coming in from YouTube. Hopefully you're still watching. I am seeing your chats now. And thank you for being here. One of my most regular viewers. She's totally awesome. She's got a great channel on YouTube as well. Does ambient grunge, and she does it very nicely. And to anyone else out there on any of the other websites, if I'm missing your chats, my apologies. That is never my intent. I should have checked for this earlier, but I didn't. So here we are. All right. Let's keep this thing going here, shall we, kids? This next piece is called A Face in the Window. Oh, and now okay. Now I got to figure out. What I just screwed up? Okay, nope, didn't have, okay, now, all right then. Okay, facing the window. I think we've got 2 songs left on this particular album, and then we're going to switch over to Finite Reality. And it's kind of a bit of a slower piece. Nothing crazy going on here. I think we might have actually 3 songs left on this album. Let's find out. I'm almost sure this is the 3rd to last. I think we have 11 songs on this. This is number 9. See what happens here. This is called The Countdown. Forgot what key I was supposed to be in. G minor. Let's try this again. That was really bad. just want to check a different aspect of my chat now and make sure that that part is correct. Cool. Looks like we're okay, doing all right. Good. Oh yeah, okay, yes. So we have 2 more songs left on this album now. I was trying to remember what that other song was. This is kind of a cool piece from a music theory perspective as it relates to the guitar. This is in E flat minor, and which in standard tuning on the guitar, E minor is a really friendly key. You move everything down 1 fret, what we would call 1/2 step, it becomes very unfriendly because suddenly you only have 1 open string left available to you. And there's a song coming up on the next album in B flat minor where you have none of the open strings available. And it's kind of a cool music theory thing too, where this open string here is tuned to a B note, and so that was called the B string. But in this song, because of the key, technically it's no longer a B note, it's a C flat note. So now my guitar doesn't have a B string, it's got a C flat string. And I think that's really awesome. This is called There's Something Behind You. I feel like my lights were wonky in that. So I was kind of making sure they are all working, so that's good. Tech stuff. Jumpy coming in from Live Space. Welcome all of my Live Space viewers. Thank you for being here. For those who are not on Live Space, if you don't know about it, it is a new streaming platform. It's in beta testing right now. I would urge people to go to livespace.com, sign up for the beta. I have been saying for a long time, I think it's going to be a very, very cool platform. Of course, being in beta, they're still working out some twitches and glitches and stuff, but it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really digging the platform. Got a great community of people. So thank you all for coming in. Thank you for wherever you're coming in from. We're going to do one more song on this album, then we're going to switch over to Finite Reality. This is probably one of my 3 slowest songs of all of the songs I've done. I've got a few that are really slow. This is one of them. I don't play very many notes in this, but I really like the piece. It's got a good feel to it. This is called In the Crosshairs. Right, let's see about this change over here. Shut down sheet music. And then my computer mouse gets totally lost. I need to find a different cursor for when I'm hovering over my recording program, because this one just kind of disappears. I'm going to go into my mouse settings and get that happening. Okay, there's that. Let's see if I did this. Okay, you can still hear me. That's a good sign. Let's get that sheet music loading back up. Boom. Looks like it's coming up here. Okay, it's got to be here somewhere. There we go. There we go. And we're looking for Finite Reality. And you still got vocals. Good. Looks like things are in order. If I went through my checklist correctly, everything will work. Finite Reality, my 60th album. First song on here is called The First Funeral. Alrighty, I just want to check another thing here. Okay, that didn't work. Jerry G and Do It Pruitt, thanks for coming in on Live Space. Great to see you both. And I just broke stuff. Okay. I'm going to try to check some stuff, but this battery needs to be inside of this trackball for it to work. And it also needs to be in the right direction. Well, that was the right direction. I have no idea what I'm doing. If anyone's coming in fresh here, you caught me at a great time. All right. Let's see how much I've screwed up now by dropping things all over the place. Oh, Do It Pruitt coming on Live Space says, big server updates today. Things seem a lot smoother now. That's awesome. Thank you for the update. I didn't know that. I haven't been on the Discord for a while. But I did notice that my stream key had changed. So that makes a lot of sense now. That's very cool. And yeah, I noticed also that my video in my chat does not autoplay, which I actually really like because that's just taking up extra bandwidth that I'd rather be using for uploading. So cool, good info. I will have to jump on the Discord and see what the updates are. Okay, what am I trying to do now? I'm checking some stuff, some things and some stuff and junk. No. I'll tell you what I'm doing right now is I'm being a dork. And that is pretty much standard Randolph the Mad Poet stuff right there. Being a dork. It's kind of the best way to do it. It's a good way to live. Okay, why am I not getting what I need here? Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm checking Rumble right now. Rumble is, I've been just recently started on this. I think this is like my third stream on Rumble, so I'm just kind of seeing how it's looking. This says I may have as many as 13 people viewing on. Oh, I got two people watching right now. Okay, cool. So 13 people have viewed. Okay, got it. I broke my computer mouse for that. I didn't actually break it. I just dropped it and the battery popped out. No big deal. Okay, good. Good to know. Good to know. Cool. Oh, and Do It Pruitt on Live Space says they haven't even announced the new update. That's how new it is. Do It Pruitt and I often do have kind of advanced information from some of the people. He and I were the earliest two active beta testers. And we've been on there for like probably 8 or 9 months. And they kind of worked a lot of it around our testing and stuff. So it's been very cool indeed. Glad to hear that they're getting the updates going and things are happening. And so, yeah, I've had a little bit of chat trouble today. So if anyone out there has put in a chat on any platform and I haven't responded, it's likely that I just haven't seen it. Yeah, I am not ignoring you. I promise that. Usually if I'm ignoring someone, I'll let them know so that the entire community knows that they're being ignored. It's much more fun that way. Fortunately, it doesn't come up too often. I got some pretty awesome people in my viewership. So, but definitely thank you to my new viewers and followers out there today, my tippers and chatters and people who are coming in for the first time and people who've been with us for a long time. Thank you very much for being here. Let's get this thing going here. We're going to play some D minor. I just realized that the last album and this album, the second song, are both in D minor. That's exciting. All right. This is called The Ghost of Temptation. Memories Ambient Grunge came over from YouTube to Twitch, so it looks like YouTube is frozen. Interesting. I'm not sure why that would be. I was having trouble with the YouTube chat earlier, so if I missed your chats, I ended up finding them later. And see, I don't know what's... It's actually one of the kind of nice things about multi-streaming is if one of the platforms is going bad, it doesn't affect everyone who's watching. So, and because I do announce it, people can probably find my other places. So if something goes wrong with YouTube, you can watch on Twitch. If something goes wrong with Twitch, you can watch on DLive. If something goes wrong with DLive, you can watch on, Rumble or whatever. I got a bunch of them. Ooh, I'm getting thirstier, and I've already popped over more than half of my water. Okie doke, what are we doing on time here? 4 o'clock, not bad. All right. This piece is called 6 Hours Ago. I don't think I've eaten enough today. I'm feeling tired. See if I can make it through this whole album here. I still got to exercise tonight too, so that's definitely going to happen. Even if I am low on nutrition. You need nutrition, right? All you need is heavy metal and guitars. Let's do this. This piece is called On the Run. Oh, Woo Plays on Live Space just pointed out that, well, first, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. And subs are now activated. That's cool. I will have to look into that. And I know I'm actually really close to getting subscriptions available on Kick.com. I think I need like 10 more followers or something like that. So that'll be coming up. Awesome. Memories Ambient Grunge on Twitch. Maybe it's not frozen, just your chat page is not refreshed. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube today. It's unfortunate because I did have a really good question from someone who was probably gone by the time I actually answered it. Part of the gig. Maybe found why with all our work the algorithm is not showing. Yeah, very likely. The algorithm is kind of a jerk sometimes. What do you do? But yeah, hey, cool. And again, thank you everybody for coming in wherever you're coming in from. I'm streaming out to 15 different platforms right now. I just sent a message to Daily Motion trying to get their, so I can do a 16th. I would like to stream on there as well. They've got some different kinds of requirements for it, so it's a little, I don't know what's going on with it. Time will tell. I like the multi-streaming thing. It's interesting. Things like the frozen chats and stuff do come up. It happens. I miss some things. It's a lot going on because apparently just, all of my lights and cameras and sheet music and all that is not enough for me. I just need to make it more and more complex all the time. So I'm like, hey, let's make it harder to see the chats. Let's make it harder to get all the streams started. Let's just make everything as hard as possible because I'm the Mad Poet and that's just what I do. It's kind of me right there. All right. This next one, we're going to slow it down a little bit. It's called You May Be Wondering. Hey, this is cool. My first chatter on Rumble.com. This is my third time streaming on Rumble. We got, actually, I'm going to enlarge the font here so that I can read what you're saying. Okay, Entangled Matter Knots. Cool username, BT Dub. Can't Not Follow Greatness. Thank you very much. Pretty sick riff, yo. Is it your own song or I do not listen to much metal, mostly psytrance. Oh, I love psytrance. I do like all kinds of good music. System of a Down is great. Rage, yeah, absolutely. I agree with what you're saying here across. I love trance music. It is my favorite kind of EDM. I like EDM in general. It's just kicking music. Yeah, System of a Down is great. Rage is also great. I'm very much the same. I'll go from listening to Barry Manilow to Slayer to Bob Marley to Billie Holiday to, just all over the place. Mozart to Hendrix. I love music. So yeah, it is my own material. I am playing all original material today. I was mentioning earlier, I've been streaming for a couple hours now. I was mentioning earlier that I am kind of starting to set up a setup for a cover tune show, and it'll take a while to get that set up. I got a couple different ideas about how I'm going to approach it, and we'll see what happens with that. But right now, yes, this is all original material. We are playing my 60th album right now. I have released a total of 66 albums. And this overall, this album is a pretty good representation of the kind of music that I do currently. I do want to include vocals on future releases. I'm working on my voice a lot. We're going to see where that goes. And overall, it's been working out pretty well. So we're going to do some more test recordings soon. But yeah, we're kind of doing some lighter stuff right now. And then we're going to get back and we're going to kind of kick it back up. But thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much for the chat. Wow, good stuff. P.S. You can read my name out again. I'm filming your response. Okay. That message is coming from Entangled Matter Knots. And that is my first chatter on Rumble.com, which is very awesome. And I really appreciate it too. The first time I streamed on Kick.com, I'm streaming out to 15 platforms. The very first chatter I ever had on Kick.com was an immediate ban. As soon as I got done playing the song and I saw their message, I'm not even going to say what it was. I was like, oh, now I have to ban someone. So I was like, I don't know where this Kick.com thing is going to go. Since then, it's been great. Every once in a while, you got to ban people on the various platforms. I don't like doing it, but it's part of the game. So this has been very awesome. And hopefully some more people will come in on Rumble. I don't know much about the platform, but I don't know much about most of the platforms that I'm streaming out to. So that's okay. Probably the ones I know the most about are Twitch, YouTube, and LiveSpace. LiveSpace being, as I mentioned earlier, a new beta program. The Nerd Pit, great username as well, coming in on Kick.com. Thank you very much for coming in. Love the action on the axe, dude. I also love the action on the axe. I just love playing guitar. It is so awesome. And being that, most of my income comes from teaching guitar, which is awesome that I actually do guitar for a living. And then this, occasionally make a few bucks from album sales and occasionally get tips and things on here. The Nerd Pit, thank you also for following on Kick.com. Greatly appreciated. That is my fastest growing channel, which is awesome. Makes me want to get another one and start playing again. The Nerd Pit, you should totally get yourself a guitar and start playing again. I don't know why you quit, but you shouldn't have. So pick it back up, baby. That's the way we do it. It's great stuff. Yeah, so I feel just very privileged to be able to do this. And let me talk about this next song a little bit here. This next song is called The Shadow's Embrace. On every album, I dedicate a song to someone I know, someone I like, someone I've worked with in the past or whatever. And this particular piece I dedicated to my Grandma Marie. She has never heard the song because she's extremely, extremely dead, as are all of my grandparents. It's a slower piece, and I also have to talk about my friend Susan. She's one of my students. She's a composition student, and she mostly composes for choirs, and she does it very well. After I released this, she contacted me, I think the same day I released it, and she said, can I do a cover of this? Can I get your permission to do my own version of this? I'm like, yeah, of course. And so she made this choir version of The Shadow's Embrace. She put lyrics to it and stuff. It's really cool. And I've never heard an actual choir do it, but I have heard her published version that you can play electronically. And the first time I listened to it was right before I played a show, and I was just like breaking out in a cold sweat just because someone had actually used one of my songs that way. It was so awesome. All right, the Nerd Pit. It's been 10 years, had to help my parents pay some bills. I totally understand that. And unfortunately, life really does get in the way of hobbies for most people. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to be able to do this for a living. I've been thinking about trying to stream on Kick, raise money to get one, and start all over again playing on a stream. Yeah, and you know what? My first guitar cost $8. Clearly, I've come a ways since then with the lights and the guitars and you know, like one thing I've pointed out is you guys don't actually see the cool half of the room. The cool half of the room is the part I'm looking at with my recording desk, and I've got 4 computer monitors with chats all over and sheet music and my interfaces and my cameras. You're actually seeing the performance hall part of my office, and I'm playing with the cool part of it where the action happens. But yeah, you know, pick yourself up a guitar for cheap, and it doesn't have to be great, and start doing it and get on stream, and on your stream just say, hey, this is me learning, you know, and people will dig it. Land Safe, hello to you as well. Thank you very much for coming in. Entangled Matter Knots on rumble.com. Love the lights and cool look you got, dude. Wish I could show you my setup and what I'm listening on. JBL TL260, JBL 60th anniversary speakers. JBL's got some great stuff. Yeah. I think I've got some JBL speakers upstairs. Oh, and Land Safe. Thank you for the follow on Kick. You guys are getting me closer and closer all the time to getting those subscriptions. I'm almost to my 75 followers on there. And happy I found a fellow guitarist on here. Yeah, hey, likewise, I will try to check out your channel as well. I appreciate it. Metal Hero, hi. Thanks for coming in. Oh, we got a good little crowd coming in here. We got my first chatter on Rumble. We got like 5 people on Live Space. We got like 5 people on Kick. We got people watching on Nemo and Nono, and I probably don't have anybody on Vaughn. Vaughn is usually pretty empty. Picardo, I don't think I get anybody on there. I usually get 1 or 2 people on Twitch, but this is a really fun stream. Been doing great. I'm gonna play this song. This is a little bit slower piece. This is in B flat minor. Tom Hansen live. Thank you for coming in from Kick. Kick is kicking. Digging it. And Tom Hansen also, thank you for the follow on Kick. Slower piece. It's in B flat minor. If you want to follow along, you want to play along with your piccolos, your violins, and your euphoniums, pick them up. This is The Shadow's Embrace. I started talking too early. Metal Hero, thank you very much for the compliment, and thank you very much for the new follow on Kick.com. Totally digging it. Tom Hansen Live, thank you very much. What else do we got going on here? Let me check all of my chats here. I think we're in good shape. Encore. We are going to be playing some more here. We got another probably 20 minutes or so to go here. Memories Grunge on Kick.com also coming in. Thank you very much. Memories is watching on YouTube earlier, then on Twitch. Now she's with me on Kick. She's all over the place. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Digging it. All right. So I got some new people out here today. And I know Memories knows what's going on. There's probably some other regulars. I know Do It Pruitt knows what's going on right now because my voice changes a bit when this part comes up. Because this is important, what's about to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. This piece is called To Think Beyond Rationality. Entangled Matter Knots says, I'm listening from Denmark. Grew up mostly in New Zealand, although I'm Viking by blood. Cool Viking blood! I dig that. But yeah, I can hear, I am from the U.S. Yeah, I'm in the United States. I'm in Washington State. The nearest city that most people might know is Spokane. We actually live in a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere. Or as I like to say, we're not in the middle of nowhere, but we're within walking distance of it. And so Spokane would be the city that people would likely know something from that. And what else we got going on here? Definitely gonna have to find someone to let me borrow a guitar and get back playing on stream at that. Yeah, absolutely. And something, go on Craigslist for your area, or go on Facebook, anywhere that's got like a any kind of a community social media thing, and because there are probably a lot of people in your town who have a guitar that's just sitting in a closet not being used, and they would be like, here, just use my guitar for a while. And so it's probably not going to be too tough for you to find a guitar to borrow, which is awesome. Memories, ambient grunge from Kick. Yes, Kick is much like Twitch. So YouTube is like you upload your videos and you can do your live stuff or your shorts or whatever. And so Kick is pretty much just a live stream platform. It's very similar to Twitch. I've definitely found that I am getting a lot more viewership on Kick than I ever have on Twitch. I've been on Twitch for like a little over 3 years, and I'm getting so many more viewers on Kick, so I'll take it. Love the light show at the Smoke Machine. Reminds me of live concerts you've been to. The Nerd Pit, thank you very much for that. That is exactly what I'm going for, and it's a massive setup to do this, because I have to. So the lights, you've probably figured out, are not just sound activated. I'm actually not even very loud in here. When Sarah's like working in her office up on the upper floor, she doesn't even hear my shows, so I'm not, it's not quiet, but it's not loud, but so I program every time a light goes on or off, that's programmed. And so I got to sit there and do that in advance. It usually takes about 8 hours to program lights for one album. And I usually do 2 albums per show, so you're talking 16 hours of light setup just to do it, but it's so totally worth it because I love my light show, and that makes me feel good, because that's exactly what I'm going for. Is I want to have more of a concert feel. The Nerd Pit, melting in the Texas heat. Yeah, we're just getting to that part. We're not as hot as Texas right now. My daughter lives in Texas, and she just turned 31. Kids, I'll tell you. And you live about anywhere 50 to 100 miles from any major city. Yeah, and I'm the kind of person, Sarah and I are both like, we don't want to be in a city. We want to be in a small town, away from the hustle and the bustle and all of that. That's more our style. Rootman on Twitch. Oh, I think that might have been there for a while. I'm not sure. I'm kind of, yeah, okay, that's old. I'm following multiple versions of my chat a little more than normal because some of my chats weren't working quite right, so I had to bring them up in a secondary window. Oh, Curse of Trauma coming in from Twitch. How you doing, Sean? Good to see you again. Thanks for popping in. Greatly appreciate it. Entangled Matter Knots, if I recall correctly, you said you like my name. Thanks. Your name is sweet. Also, what made me click your stream? Cool. Yeah. No. Entangled Matter Knots. That's a very cool username. I've seen a lot of very cool usernames lately. A lot of good ones have been popping up on here. Cooking goulash. That's Recursive Trauma from Twitch. I've never had goulash, and so basically, when it comes to food, I have not matured past age 6. So little 6-year-old Randy and 52-year-old Randy are equally picky about food. And I'll just look at something like the word goulash and I'm like, I don't like that. and I'll just be a total little brat about it, is the one, I'm a very open-minded person, except when it comes to food. I am so close-minded about food. I'm terrible. It is so hard for me to eat. And lately I've been doing this keto diet, so I haven't even had pizza because I can't make pizza crust on keto. And it's been brutal, but I'm gonna keep doing it because it's good for me. Fun stuff. Goulash is totally keto. Yeah, but it's called goulash, and I'm 6 years old when it comes to food. And so you lost me there. It's probably excellent. There was this great thing that happened one time. My daughter was about 16 years old, and we're at some restaurant, and she's eating this spinach artichoke dip. And she's like, "Dad, you'll love this. You got to try this." And I'm like, "I'm not going to eat that. It's spinach or artichoke. It's disgusting." And I always had this thing when my daughter was little. I would say, "You have to take one bite." And so she's 16, and she's like, "Dad, you got to try this." And finally she's like, "Dad, you have to take one bite." And I'm like, "Okay, turnabout's fair play." And I totally loved it. It was awesome. The spinach dip was awesome. Oh, we got Yaycats X coming in. I don't know if I said your username correctly. From Twitch, thank you very much for being here. Tom Hansen has just followed on Twitch as well, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much. I got multiple new followers today on Twitch, which is rare. I usually only get like a new follower every third or fourth show. I got a couple of them today. I think I got like 6 new followers today on Kick. They're just popping off all over the place. Got my first chatter on Rumble. It's got all kinds of people coming in. This is madness. I love it. Entangled Matter Knots from Rumble says, "Awesome that you like psytrance and other stuff." Absolutely. Oh, cool. Entangled Matter says, "I produce psytrance. If you got a cool riff you'd be down to let me use in a track, I'll make something groovy and give you credits." You know what? I've got a couple ideas about what we could potentially do as a collaborative thing. Let's talk more in the near future and see what's going on. Yaycats X says, "Oh, Rootman recommended." Thank you very much, Rootman, for the recommendation. And this is something. So what I'm really hoping for, I had someone on Kick on my last stream. They said, you deserve more viewers. And I said, you know what? I agree with you. But here's kind of what I don't do much in the way of social media. In fact, I do almost no social media. What I'm really hoping for with these shows is exactly this, that someone like Rootman will say, "Hey, here's a cool show," and send it to their friend, because word of mouth is the best form of advertising. It's exactly why Shawshank tanked in the theaters, but become the #1 movie of all time since then. So, by all means, if you guys like what I'm doing, feel free to let other people know about it. If you're hopping in and out of Twitch music streams, you will very quickly amass a following here. Yeah, I've been on Twitch for over 3 years, and I go into quite a few streams. I haven't had much luck there. I've had a lot more luck on really Kick.com is the one that's really popping off lately, and several others, because I'm on 15 platforms. DLive occasionally does really well, so yeah. The Nerd Pit, I have to hop out of here. Time to take a break and let the laptop cool down. Hey, the Nerd Pit, thanks very much for the follow. Thanks for coming in. Hope to see you some more in the future. Go borrow a guitar and start playing, baby, because I want to see you on stream. All right, let's play some more music here, shall we, kids? This next one is called "Thought Is All I Am." Memories Ambient Grudge on Twitch says, don't refer to my YouTube and Twitch commentary, but live are killing my channel. Maybe answer to our question from the other live. Yeah, that's it's a great observation. I don't even know what to think of that. There's so much craziness going on with the various platforms that it's hard to know what to even do. I don't know if other platforms I'll probably have to stop live on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough equation. You might, yeah. I wish I had an answer for you. I really do. Tom Hansen, thanks so much for the clapping hands. The algorithm is no longer showing your uploaded videos since you started live. That's interesting. You know, it's so hard to know what's going on, but I know that I've had a few people on my Discord come in and say, oh, I got you recommended, and it's always been live. That's a good point. I don't know. I wish I had all the answers for everything in the world, but I don't. I'm not even sure how to advise. I feel like I would like to advise you on that, but I don't know how. So you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to play a song. This one's called, I think we got 2 more left for today. This one's called A Pile of Skulls. Memories, ooh la la. For those who may not know the ooh la la reference, about 2.5 years ago, my smoke machine caught on fire. Not this smoke machine. That smoke machine is gone. And you may have noticed I don't tend to cuss on stream. I have a very clean stream that I do here. And so during that emergency, language changed. And I was running that smoke machine out of the room, and it was frightening. So I made a censored version of that because people were getting a kick out of it. So everywhere that I was cussing, I put like ooh la la and stuff like that over it, and it's awesome stuff. Let's see here. We got Entangled Matter Knots. So I'm very impressed with your musical skills. You got a real sweet flow state going. If we collaborate on something, I'm sure I'll learn a lot. I play no instruments. I'm self-taught EDM. Very cool. P.S. Thanks for going through the trouble to create such an awesome light show to go along with your mad riffs. Thank you also for being a viewer and a chatter and for liking what I do, because it's really great to hear things like that and just know that, you know, people actually do appreciate what I have got going on here. Ecstatic Sense, welcome back. Good to see you again. Thoughts on people using music in the background of streams and videos? You know, I think that the main thing is get permission. And this comes up on forums all the time. I've had a few people approach me and say, hey, could I use your music in my streams? Could I use your music in my videos? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Cool. And the thing is, so if you want to use Beyonce, then you're going to have to find, you need to talk to the person who owns the music. And Beyonce doesn't own her own recordings. The publishing company does. So you've got to find out who her publishing company is and, you know, find a way to do this. So it's really hard. So what I suggest to people is if you want to use music, find something you like, but find something smaller. Don't go after Metallica. Don't try to use Hendrix, you know, because that stuff's all, you know, how are you going to get in touch with the Hendrix estate, right? How are you going to get in touch with, you know, Metallica's publisher? I don't even know who they're with. So it would be really hard. But if you find some like local punk band, they would probably love to have the exposure. And they'd be like, yeah, please use our music in your stream, you know, because I actually own all of my own music. I own my recordings, I own my music, I have no contracts with anyone, and it's really kind of awesome because I could also go back to everyone who I've given permission to and withdraw it if I wanted to, you know? So I say, you know, get permission from it, promote some smaller musicians, and do it that way. And it's really... Typically, if you're willing to do that, it's not very hard to do. Like I said, I've probably, I don't know, 8-10 people have been like, hey, can I use your mail? Yeah, go ahead. And then, you know, it's almost always over like a Reddit message or a DM or an email. And so we've got a paper trail, so to speak. So, you know, they're protected. If anything ever comes up, they can be, things be like, oh, hey, I've got permission from the copyright holder. And I'd be like, yeah, see, look, we got messages. So it's a good way to do it. Entangled Matter Knots. It's 2 a.m. here. Stayed up because I found your very cool stream. I'm a fan. Go hard, bro. For sure. Where can we find your music? SoundCloud, under the same name. So I do have a SoundCloud. It's under a different name, but there's nothing on there. I've got so much music that I would have to go to the pro version of SoundCloud, so I don't. But the easiest place to find everything I've got is themadpoet.net. Nothing says I got here second like .net. So themadpoet.net on there, if you open it up, it's just you'll see all of my album covers right on the front page. And click on any album cover. There's embedded YouTube videos, and there's links there to most of my live streaming sites. I got to update that. There's links to Bandcamp where you can support me if you are so inclined. So yeah, that's really kind of the best way to do it right there. You just go to themadpoet.net. That's kind of a repository for Mad Poet stuff. And Tom Hansen Live says, hell yes. Thank you very much for Kick. And then again, so I've only got one song left today. and then I got to get out of here, do some stuff. Thank you so much. This has been an absolutely awesome stream. I've had a lot more viewers than normal. I've got a lot more followers than normal. Oh, YayCatSX, I don't think that I saw that you followed on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Tom Hansen, Rootman, Metal Hero, Tom Hansen also on Kick, Landsafe, The Nerd Pit, and the one that I can't pronounce, Kirk someone. Thank you so much for all the new follows and the great time in chat. Wherever you came in from, if you didn't follow, you're just a viewer, listeners, you're all awesome. Thank you very much. One song left today. This last piece is called Before Eternity. All right, gang. Again, thank you so very much. This has been an awesome stream. You guys made this really great. So many new viewers and followers and everything. Awesome. Thank you again. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you for being here. And until next time.